Dr. Doula here, and I was having some thoughts today that I wanted to share, which are always my favorite things when I'm inspired to talk. Um, I normally did this on Facebook, but they shut that down or whatever, and I don't have a Facebook account anymore. So if this interests you, if this inspires you and encourages you, make sure to subscribe to my channel because this is where I'll be. You want to connect with me. I'm not even playing with Facebook anymore right now. I just can't. The thought that I had though was about um, whether our love creates indebtedness or not. I want you to think about that. And I'll start with myself. Um, I have a whole lot of what they would say, like, come to Jesus moments about things. And I've had a lot of thoughts about things. And I've been thinking about how so often when I love people the most, I was requiring, like, I'll say it this way, I would do so much. I'm going to do so much to show you I love you. But it wasn't like a free love. It was a love where it's like, now surely when you see everything I'm willing to do to show you I love you, surely you're going to be willing to like accept it, to show it back to me, maybe in a similar way. Basically, it's not free. Now, I didn't see it that way. That wasn't how I was looking at it. I wasn't like saying my love ain't free. That's not what I thought at all. I thought for sure that, this is how you love. This is how you show love. You show love by, you know, giving yourself almost to the point of martyrdom. And that was a thing I've been saying my whole life. I'm not a martyr. Um, my mom was this amazing woman, and she passed away when I was 21, 3 months before I got married. And I remembered over the years, I just was like, oh, I admire her so much, and I want to be like my mom. Even now, 30 years later, no, you can't find anybody to say anything bad about her. Now I'm sitting up here trying to figure out how that happened because I know me, and you can find people that got plenty to say about me, but not this amazing woman. Like no one's gonna say anything about her. But the one thing that I said I would not imitate or copy or be like in that similar way was I said I would not allow myself to be a martyr. My mother was so good to everybody that it, like I said, it's hard to find somebody who wouldn't agree or has anything bad to say. And all people say was how helpful she was and how good she was. And I think I took that and I kind of ran with it. And I really was like, ooh, okay, but I want to be that because I loved her. I missed her. I wanted to be that kind of mom, that kind of wife, blah, 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 all those things. Somehow along the way, I developed this way of if I really love you, I'm going to smother you. The first time I recognized it was when I was in college. My husband and I were not courting. We were just best friends. That was it. But because I loved him with my heart, I got possessive. It was like, oh, I have to show him that I love him. I have to show him that I love him. I have to show him that he's my friend. I had expectations for whatever goodness and whatever love I put out. Now, some people would say, well, if it's a friend, yeah, you should have expectations. I am not saying that you should not expect or hope or want anything at all. What I am saying is when you create indebtedness, like people are indebted to you because you do a thing like love them and your expressions of love create debt for other people, that is something that you should just be like, let me rethink that. Because what ends up happening is when they don't pay that debt, guess who's hurt? Not them. Because you've been pouring out, baby. You've been pouring out. You've been giving it. You've been giving it to the people. You've been like showing. Let me show you. You ain't seen love until you see me love you. You don't know what love is until I love you. And so you give, you give, you give, you give. You do this thing and you create this indebtedness. It's indebtedness to you. Remember what I did for you. It's kind of like that Shirley Caesar song. For the 9 months I carried you, growing inside me, no charge. The son was like, hey, this is what you owe me because I did these chores or whatever. Amazingly, for my sons, I never did for them in a way where I said, you owe me. And it's crazy because I was just talking to them, and I was saying, I've never made you feel guilty because, oh, you need to call your mother. You haven't called your mother. I don't believe, for whatever reason, I believe I got it good. I did it right with them. But there have been some other people that I loved, loved, loved. And oh my goodness, the way they became indebted to me, the way that they had to show up for me, that it made it a little impossible. It made it a little challenging. And I'm only admitting that now because of some things I've gone through recently. Recently, there's a person, and I mean, this is a person I've loved my entire life. And I was like, I'm going to do, I'm going to do, I'm going to do. And it's almost like when I do and I show, if you know about the 5 love languages, you know about acts of service. I'm an acts of service chick. So if I really am loving on you, I am doing for you. But the thing is, I just want you to, if it was a free love is one thing. But no, I want you to, be appreciative. I'm not doing this because it's like, hey, I'm doing it as unto the Lord. No, I'm doing it. I expect you to be appreciative. I expect you to act like whatever. And a situation came up where they were not acting like that. And in fact, it was like, okay, look, not only, yeah, thanks for everything, but yeah, I just, I need my space. Now, you have to know the story about space. That's a cuss word between me and my husband. You don't say space to me. You want space. I know how to give you space. Basically, this person asked for space. And with my husband, when we were in school, like I said, I love hard, right? I'm like loving in action. Let me be here for you. Let me do blah, blah, blah. To the point of martyrdom. Just lay myself down for you. So we were in school 30 plus years ago. And this brother, we were at Tuskegee University together. This brother was like, we hung out all the time. We were eating lunch together. We would, whatever. This is my guy. Still is my guy 30 some years later. This brother had the audacity to start, he came one and he said, look, I need space. Now, this is my best friend. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is my best friend. And he's like, I need space. And so I gave him space, which basically meant I didn't call him. I didn't when you do everything together, like you walk to class together, you meet up after this together. He was an architect major, so I would go and hang out with him in his architect space. I would tidy up his space because I'm loving on him. I'm like, this is my guy, this is my bestie. But neither one of us were trying to be in any kind of relationship, but this is my best friend. And I'm cleaning up your space, I'm keeping it tidy, I'm just helpful. And he was like, I need space. Well, I didn't like that necessarily. I didn't like that. But I gave it to him because I will give you your space if you ask for it. It was the first time I ever remember doing anything like that where someone says, look, I need space. So it's been like over 30 years. But I was like, okay. And so I gave him space. I didn't call him really or anything. I did the places we would normally meet. I just didn't go. And, I would just went on and lived my life. And I'm a creature of habit. So what happened was, back then you could just dial like on campus. No cell phones weren't a thing then. What else was not a thing? Like, you used to pay phones if you wanted to call long distance. You had the long distance card. I'm dating myself now. But I got on the phone. I was trying to call a friend upstairs who's a twin. I was trying to call twins upstairs, and I ended up going 1, 2, 3, 4. And the number that I put in was his instead. And so, instead of I got distracted because I got a phone call. Okay. Instead of dialing their number upstairs in my dorm, I dialed his number. And I guess he knew my name because when I heard his voice, my voice, when I heard his voice, I was like, I'm sorry, wrong number. Sorry. And I hung up, and he calls me back immediately. Tria, is that you? I said, yes, it is, but it was an accident. I did not mean to call you. Blah, blah, blah. I said I was just an accident. I didn't mean to call you. And he said, no, 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 no. Wait. We ain't talked in a whole week. Now, a week is a big deal because this is my bestie. We ain't talked in a whole week. What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on? I miss talking to you. So what do? Okay. And it's like back to everything normal, back to everything whatever. I'm back to doing whatever I do for you. I'm back to being in that space with you. But lo and behold, it was like 2 months later. He came back again and he said it again. He said, look, I need my space. And we had been best friends for like 2 years at this point. I need my space. But he went more specific and he said, look, don't call me. I won't call you. If you see me, like, wait, but you don't need to come and talk to me. If you need somebody to walk you from to your dorm, now Tuskegee's in the south, in the dark, it ain't whatever. I lived across campus. He's like, if you need somebody to walk you, don't call me to do that. I just need space. And so this time, I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. But I don't like people having to tell me the same thing twice. And so I literally went and I prayed and I was like, God, help me, like get him. It was right before Christmas break. And I was like, help me just get him out of it. Like, I don't, the whole rejection thing or just need space, whatever you want to call it. I was like, absolutely not. And so I went home for break. And when I came back, I spent my whole time there saying, get your life together, girl. Because I wasn't that chick. I had insecurities about plenty of things, but running up after somebody wasn't one of them. I don't know how to do that. Not even today. No. And so we got back to school in January. He was a basketball player, so all the basketball players had shaved their heads bald, and his head looked green because he was so light skinned and had no sun on it. And I was like, now you just have to know the story, my husband. Like, I was friends with everybody on the basketball team through him, and when he started asking for space, like he just literally just acted like I didn't exist, and they would all be like, "Yo, what's going on with him?" I was like, "I don't know," So I spoke to my friends on the basketball team that I knew through him, and I waved at him, and I kept going, and it was weird because I could feel his eyes like looking like, I know she didn't just pass me by. Why? Because I'm that girl. I'm that chick. I'm that one that's going to be there. I got you, boo. I got you. You ain't going to be looking for no help when listen, I got you. But I gave him his space, and I continued to give him his space. I just went on with life. And one day, whatever, that's a whole nother story. One day he came, hey, what's going on? It was like a month or so later because I just gave him his space. I didn't do that thing I normally did where if someone says something nice to me, now I'm okay, and everything they said before was not. Now, I said all that to say, well, first of all, it's just something to be amazed that I married this man eventually anyway, and we've been married for 30 years. Okay, he is just so, he knows that, he don't even say space to me now. Now I can't get no space. Now I can't get space. I was like, oh, we should do. He's like, you enjoy that too much. You enjoy your space too much. I was like, well, you taught me to enjoy space, baby. So you got to live with it. Anyway, one of the things I've noticed just over the years is that I constantly am getting these examples of people that want space. Hey, I want space. Hey, I want space. There was a friend I had and she was having a baby, and I'm a doula and a birth worker, but this was before then. My whole life I've worked with sisters and friends in birth. I just felt this responsibility, which is why I do what I do now. Check me out at drdoula.com. But I remember I was like, girl, I'm gonna be there with you. I'm gonna be in the birthing room. I'm gonna be there. And at one point she's like, look, I've been trying to tell you this for the longest time, and you just act like you're not hearing me. Now this is somebody that, at the time they were like, hey, we're so close. We're so close. Best friends. Here we go. Because if you my bestie, I got you. You understand? And she was like, look, this is a private family thing. Now, there had been nothing else she had ever discussed that was private or family. And so I was shocked. She said, this is between me and my husband. Um, and I don't even know if I want my own mom to be there. And I was like, huh, okay. And I remember where I was sitting. I was sitting in this little office I had at the time, pink rug on the floor, sitting looking at my computer. And I spun my body around in my chair as if to say, she don't mean that. I was instantly, she doesn't mean that. And Creator said, stop. Listen to what she's asking for and give it to her. I didn't want to hear that. But I played back what she had said. And I said, okay. And she had her baby. I just left her. This was a person I spoke to all the time, every single day. And she said, look, this just give me my space. Here we go, space again. And I said, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And for the whole of her rest of her pregnancy, her postpartum, everything, I did not call her. I did not whatever. And she calls me at the end of the 6 weeks. She said, I just wanted to see if you were really not going to um, offer me anything, call me or anything at all. And I was like, sis, you said that this time was private and personal and family for you. And you told me that you wanted me to back up. And she's like, okay, but even the women, from the church gave me potlucks and did whatever. And I was like, and Creator was like, don't say a word. But it was the first time that I had practiced giving somebody what they asked for. And it was torturous in one way, because my heart hurt, because I loved them and I really wanted to do for them. And I wanted to be there. And I didn't know it was even leading into the work I do now, where I just felt this responsibility. If you are somebody I love and you're a woman like me and you have a baby, honey, you're not supposed to be needing for anything. But that wasn't what she wanted. Um, but things did change between us. I mean, we're fine now. Years, a decade passed, we reconnected. But I remember it was the first time that I ever gave somebody what they asked for. Give her what they asked for. And sometimes when we are loving on people, we want to love them the way that we see love, the way it feels to us. So if I'm an acts of service person and you have like words of affirmation, you have quality time, you have gifts and something else. Oh, physical, which everybody thinks is sex, but it's not. Whatever. I want to love the way that I want people to love me. I want to receive it, and I'm going to first of all give it the way that it feels right to me. But I also want people then to give it back to me in that same way, or to acknowledge that I've shown this immense love because I've sacrificed and done so many things, because that's how I show love. When the truth of the matter is that, first of all, people are going to receive better based on how they feel love. But second of all, you becoming a martyr for them, you requiring anything at all, is not going to serve your highest and best. See, it's one thing when we go to a soup kitchen, we volunteer at a homeless shelter or something like that. We're giving out the benevolence of our heart. We're doing because this is what, is expected. It's a good thing to do. Brings me good karma, good juju, and the Lord loves it. Right? That's one thing. But it's another thing when we have these people we love. We have family members, we have friends, we have these people. And now we're like, no, it should return in some way. And what I'm telling you today, and what I'm going to suggest to you, is that you stop outsourcing your love. And what I mean by that is, when we do stuff so that people would return that to us and be good to us, we're really not necessarily loving on ourselves. When we do that, we're actually looking for someone else to give us this love that we need to develop and cultivate for ourselves. If it requires so much of me to show somebody that I love them, if it requires me so much just to prove that I love. And I have to go and turn cartwheels and I have to lay my life out and everything. And that's love. Are you showing yourself that same kind of love? Are you going beyond your boundaries? There's, you've seen people with the example of like the teacup. Like my husband is an energy worker, Coach Jean, and an energy practitioner, and he will work with people. He had a water, and he would run the water and say, everything, even the bubble over the dome of the water, is you. Only the stuff that drips out is for other people. I like to look at it. My grandmother used to drink coffee, and she would pour the coffee in a cup, stir it, mix it, sugar, cream, whatever, and then she would put it in the saucer and drink out of the saucer. I guess it cooled it off enough or something like that, which I didn't understand fully till I was a grown up that that's what was happening. I just like, okay, why is she drinking out of the saucer? I think my papa did that too. My dad's dad did it that way too. But if you can think of it this way, everything in the cup, everything, it's yours. It's all yours. And it's only the overflow. It's like the passage that says, my cup runneth over. Until your cup runs over, everything that you're giving, this is supposed to be yours in this cup. It's supposed to be yours. The saucer is where you get to give to other people. When you start digging into your cup, letting people lick, somebody said it, they said, lick it around. They'll empty your cup out. You can blame other people if you want, or you can take personal responsibility for what you feel is only the right thing to do, or this is how I show love, or whatever else. We have to take personal responsibility for how we are putting ourselves out there and showing this love. And at the end of the day, if we're giving from our cup, we're going to be looking for them to fill our cup up for us. Do you get it? It's your job to fill up your own cup. Give from the overflow. And when you don't, you're coming from your cup and you're looking and angry because after everything I did for them, after everything I sacrificed for them, I don't care if it's our kids. I'm going to be honest. I have 4 sons. They're both all adult age, 29, 27, 22, and 20. I do not hold anything over their heads. I do not say, you owe me. They don't. I'm not setting myself up to say that because I sacrificed. I homeschooled for 13 years. I did all this stuff, before it was popular. When people were telling me, black kids, you're going to mess up your sons because, um, black boys, they're not going to be real black boys. Now, the people that said it amazingly don't even remember. They are so proud of them now. But at the time, I got a lot of hassle for my decisions I was making. But I don't look at them because I used the height, like the 20s and 30s, when I could have really been building a certain kind of career. I don't look at them and say, now you owe me because I gave you this. I really don't. I really do not. And I'm grateful for that. But I have other relationships where I do. If I sacrificed for you, whoa, I can't believe it. I did all this. I listened to all of your challenges and your stories. And I can't believe that you did all of my sacrifice, everything I've done for you. And you're just going to discard me. Stop giving from your cup where you're looking for somebody else to fill it up and holding them in debt until they do. Fill up your own cup. Give from your overflow. If it's not given from your overflow, then you're going to be looking for something back. Do for people. Love people in a way so that when you finish that and walk away, they owe you nothing. You don't have to talk to anybody about what they should have done. You don't have to sit and go through shenanigans of, they just ungrateful and you experienced that. Stop talking about all that. If you did it from love, do it from love. But stop giving to the point where you want people to give it back to you. Because you're giving from what you need. You're looking for them for what you need. But you have to love yourself enough to say, I can't give. I don't have that to give. I never tell people I don't have money or whatever. I never did that. If it was something that I had, but I didn't want to give to somebody else for whatever reason, I would say, okay, I don't have that to give. Because if I needed to look back, and if you say on Friday, I'm going to give you your $300 back, I experienced that one time, and the person got amnesia. I was like, I remember I said, babe, I got to forgive it. I got to forgive this debt and move on, and I will never lend again. I will only give. And I did that. I just couldn't believe that they just acted like it didn't happen. But it's because I created a debt with that person. And as long as because I needed the money. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the correlation? If you have the saucer and the cup, if you need what's in your cup, and you do, don't give it. You don't have it to give. If you have a certain amount, you pay your bills on Friday. Someone comes on Tuesday, say, do you have this? I'll have it back on Friday. Let me help you. Don't give it. Don't lend it, because you will be going back to them on Friday saying, where's my money? And if they don't have it, if they don't have that to send back to you, it creates a indebtedness. They're indebted to you now with something that you needed, and now you have to deal with the repercussions of not having. I just don't do it. I don't have it to give. I didn't say I didn't have it. I don't have it to give. And it is okay for you to give from your cup so that no one is in debt when you finish showing and showering your love. If you don't have it to give, you don't have it to give. Only give what you have to give. And when we give, we take our hands off of it. The way they receive it, whether it's with joy or scorn or whatever, I'm not basing my happiness, my joy, my fullness, my feeling love on you and your response to what I've done for you. Stop creating debt with people in the name of love. Stop it. Give from what you have. Open yourself to Creator and say thank you for the ability to give. And move on with your life. That part. I'm so glad I got to share that. Remember, I'm just starting up here. Normally I post, normally I will post, something I did on a different platform, but now I'm just going live here because it's an option. So make sure you subscribe if you felt encouraged or blessed. Subscribe so you'll know when I'm posting something. And you can go to drdoula.com, drdoula.com, to see what I offer, because I offer not only things related to birth, but also things related to your life, your spirituality, and existing in this plane in the best ways possible. All right. Blessings to you.